How much is enough? Have you ever noticed that people who get everything they want always want more? You know, we get the newest phone and then we're like, oh, this is the greatest, the greatest. Then they come out with the newest phone and we're like, oh, I've got to get that phone too. We get a brand new car and the next year they come out with a newer model. We've got to get that too. Anyone can get caught up in that trap. Men, however, get caught up in another kind of trap. The trap of seeing their lives as being only as a provider. Let's find out how that hurts us as men today. Throughout history, men have been seen as providers. And they filled that role because it's a natural place for them. It's a role that they were kind of made for, really. Men were designed to be providers. It's kind of obvious the way it's worked out. And they thrive in that role. There's something about it that makes us feel better as men. The problem is when we think that that's all our life is about. When that's all we are is a provider. And that's a trap for men. It's a trap because it hurts them in several different ways. All right, the first way is the provision mode for men. Men get trapped in that provision mode. They get caught up in being a provider because it's a natural role for them. But the problem is they think that's all they are. They live to provide. That becomes their thing that they do. It kind of becomes the thing that they focus on. And it's admirable. And we should do it. Men should provide for their family. But often, it becomes the thing we think that's what we're all about. See, as men, we get a buzz from providing, and it does make us feel accomplished, and that's good. However, we have to see it for what it is. Provision isn't a real purpose in life. It's our role, it's what we do, but it shouldn't be who we are. It shouldn't be the most important thing to us. It is important, but it's not our purpose. You see, our purpose is what we live for and who we are. Making money, providing, that's not a purpose. That's part of our role, but it's not the purpose of our life. It's not really worth our entire life. Now, don't get me wrong. You do need money. You do need to be a provider. It is important, but it's not your purpose. If that is your purpose, your life is sad. Hey guys, check out the Confident Man podcast. It's a weekly coaching session between me and you where I help you live as a better man. Check it out on all the podcasting platforms. Okay, the second trap for men is the scorecard for men. If I was to ask you, who are you? What would you tell me? Most guys tell you what they do, their job, what they accomplish through their work, how they provide. Why is that? A lot of us as men, that's where we get most of our identity from what we do. Now again, that's part of our natural role to be a provider, to work and do that. And that's how we're wired. And there's nothing wrong with that. But we've got to be careful that we don't see our work as our purpose. We don't see our provision as the only reason we're here. You see, the danger when we do that is we set up a wrong scorecard for ourselves in life. We begin to see success at work and making money as a way of keeping score for ourselves. We start saying things like, am I better than the other guy? I read an article one time about this place called The Villages. It's a retirement village. And what happens there is it's a golf cart community. So people started buying nicer golf carts and competing with each other on who can have the most tricked out golf cart. That's guys trying to keep score. And when you get caught up in the scorecards of life, you live for stuff, you live for success, you live for all these other things, but you miss out on a real purpose. Men are designed to live on purpose. We do have roles as providers, but that's not what our purpose is. We're not just here to get stuff. Hey guys, what are some areas that you think men use as a scorecard? How do we keep score with other men? Let me know in the comments. I'd love to hear your thoughts. All right, the third trap is what I call the provision trap. It keeps us from a real legacy. You see, when you're providing and you're succeeding and you're making money and you're doing all of this stuff and you think that's what life's about, a lot of times you miss out on opportunities to leave a real positive legacy. Anybody can leave money, but ask a child what they would want. The newest toy, for their dad to be with them and spend time with them. Every child's going to say they want their dad. Kids want their dad. They want you. Your relationships and the people you pour into, that's your legacy. Now, you do provide for them. That's a role, but that's not your purpose. That's not your legacy. Your legacy is who you're impacting with your life. They're going to outlive you. And all that success and money is not going to matter when you're gone. You say, well, I want to give my kids a financial legacy. Well, that's cool. But if you don't connect with them, if you don't really pour into them, it's not going to help them. They'll just spend all the money. They'll blow it. We've seen it time and time again. What you have to do is help your kids understand what the real purpose of life is. And when they get that purpose, they understand that money's a tool of life. It's not the purpose of life. Often as men, we say we love our families. But what we're really teaching them by the way we live is that work, success, money, grades, we're teaching them that those are the most important thing. Your family knows if they're really the most important thing to you. They can tell by the way you live, by the way you treat them. It doesn't mean you can't be successful. It doesn't mean you don't work hard. You should as a man. You should understand your legacy is your relationships. What are you doing to pour into them? What are you doing to make sure they're successful? That's the most important thing. Guys, I want to take some time to challenge you to think about your legacy. If you're married and have kids, what are you doing to really pour into them? What are you doing to build up those relationships? If you're single, what are you doing now to impact the people you have a relationship now? What are you doing to grow yourself so you can be better and stronger for others? It really comes down to how are you living and investing in others and not just yourself. If you're just living to keep score and to provide, it's kind of empty. The best life is the one when you're living for other people. Serving changes more lives than selfishness, than money, than provision. So live your purpose. Don't just live as a provider.